Willow Creek Springs presents Healthy Living with your host, Joe Grumbine.
Hello and welcome to the Healthy Living Podcast. I'm your host, Joe Grumbine, and I have a lot of new listeners coming aboard, so I thought I would just introduce myself. I am a 58-year-old male. I have been a formulator of natural products for more than 40 years, and I've been on a personal health journey, at least for the past 7 or 8 years, and I've lost close to 60 pounds, beginning about 6, 7 years ago. Been maintaining a good, healthy weight. A couple of years ago, I developed a very large lump on my neck, and I'm going through a process of solving it. And part of the discussion that I bring into the table when I don't have guests is just this journey. And so today, I want to talk about discernment and making good choices for your own health. Um, in this particular journey, I've gone a lot of different directions. If you know me, I've been involved with cannabis medicine for over 40 years, and I have produced all kinds of different products revolving around this type of plant medicine. And that's certainly a place that I have explored and am still continuing to explore. I've gone to regular Western medicine doctors, and we've gone through a bunch of tests. And it's a mixed bag when you're getting into quote unquote doctors. And I just put quotes around it because they're all people. We're all people. And remember, when it comes down to it, I need you to listen to this. This is important. The pharmaceutical companies have been around for a long time. And to this date, as far as I know, I don't think they've cured a single disease. They've sold a lot of drugs. They've had all kinds of changes they've done to people, alleviated symptoms, alleviated pain, caused symptoms, caused pain, caused death, all kinds of things. But as far as I know, there's not a single cure of any disease that's been caused by any pharmaceutical company. Yeah, an infection, I suppose you can cure an infection, but is the disease curing it or is your body curing it? There's this combination of things that's always happening. And then we've got every kind of practitioner. And I have worked with, over the last 40 years, every kind of practitioner from, well, not every kind, but a lot, acupuncture and acupressure to all different types of herbalists, Chinese herbs and Western herbs and South American herbs, Indian herbs, all over the world herbs. All kinds of energy medicine I've worked with the Rife machine. We just interviewed a guy that was working with what they call scalar light energy. I've worked with Reiki. I've worked with all different types of modalities. I've worked with all kinds of different Chinese medicine. Recently, I've been diagnosed by some kind of electrical devices that are supposed to be able to scan your image and get readings from you. There's just all different types of information out there. And then that's not even getting into, let's say, the information at our fingertips. You've got the internet, you've got social media, you've got, so many different, literally the Smithsonian Museum is at our fingertip, everything, all the information in the world. If you want to dig a little bit, you can find. And, so I'm just kind of walking through this journey. I have explored what they would call ethnobotanical or entheogenic solutions. I've gone down, sacred plant medicine, and all different types of results. Now, at this point, my lump's still on my neck, but I am on a journey that I'm confident is going to see this gone, hopefully without a scalpel touching me, but if needed, it will. And I just want, you all who are listening to realize that you're the one healing yourself. You're the one in charge. You're the one who makes the decisions. You're the one who hires the doctor. The doctor doesn't hire you. And so many times, you hear what they call doctor's orders. Well, that sure sounds powerful, doesn't it? The doctor orders something to happen, and what? You just do it? I don't know. In the 20 years I've been creating products through my company, Willow Creek Springs, I have met with dozens and dozens of people who have gone down the doctor's orders world and found themselves in a much worse place. And it's funny because when you talk to a doctor in their office, they're going to speak with you with an urgency as though there's no other way. You must do this. If you don't do this, there's nothing else. And I don't know how many times I've just seen these things go wrong. So, for example, in my process, I went to this doctor, sight unseen. He was nearby. I thought he was a good guy. I liked him. He seemed genuinely concerned. Ordered some tests. He was very confident that this lump is not cancerous, and I felt really good about that. And then I get an ultrasound, and that comes back, and then he says, well, I want to do a CT scan, and we're going to want to get this thing operated. We're going to go through this whole process. Then I get some blood work done, and they didn't really find anything alarming. A couple of little things off, but nothing major. Again, I'm 58. I have never had any major medical procedures done except for a vasectomy when I was 22 years old. I still have my tonsils. I still have my appendix. I still have all my teeth. I'm just, pretty much the way I came in, I'm still here. I haven't been taking a pharmaceutical drug in, can't remember how long. It's been a long time. However, I have suffered a chronic lung condition all my life, and I've been going through a process of treating that, but that's not what we're talking about here. So then through this process, I get the CT scan, and once that comes back, he says, I hear from the nurse, she goes, well, we want you to go to an EMT, and the doctor's ordering a needle biopsy. And I talked about this in a previous episode a little bit, but if you know anything about needle biopsies, is sometimes they can cause a problem. I've done quite a bit of research, seen quite a bit of studies, and there's irrefutable evidence. Sometimes when you stick a needle in a thing, it spreads. Now, this doctor ordered this needle biopsy without consulting me. And if I was one of these puppets that do what they're told, I probably would have already had it done. And who knows what would have happened. But I chose not to. And I also lost confidence in the doctor because he didn't even bother talking to me and saying, hey, Joe, I think this is a good idea. But, there's some possible complications that could happen. I want you to make the decision. No, he didn't do that. He just ordered it. I don't do well with being ordered, and I don't know why any of you guys do. I've never seen it go well. I've seen plenty of people follow their doctor's orders and do fine. Don't get me wrong. I'm not disputing anything like that. I'm just saying, remember, you're the one hiring the doctor. You're the patient. You're the one trying to cause yourself to be better. So as a patient, I have taken control of my own life, and I said, well, I'm going to do the very best thing I can. In this process, I have worked with a bunch of different medicine people from around the world, and I've received all kinds of different advice. I've gotten recommendations for probably a dozen different alternative treatments, and from chemicals that I don't even know what they are to some that I do know what they are, and advice of, carrying stones with me and certain practices and all these different things. And some of you folks might say, well, that's just woo-woo witchcraft, whatever. Frankly, I have seen some of the strangest things have positive effects. So I don't rule anything out at all, ever. It might seem weird, it might seem strange, but what it comes down to is discernment. Looking at number one, what's your plan? Do you have a plan? Are you just randomly trying things? Is that a good idea? Remember, one of the problems with pharma companies is that they give you one drug and then that drug has a side effect. So then rather than explaining that, letting you deal with it, they say, well, we're going to give you another drug to combat that side effect. Now you have two chemicals in your system. And that might create a third side effect or have an interaction with something else you're doing. And it cascades. And that's why most of you, people that I know, people that I don't know, nobody has one pharmaceutical drug. They all have a cocktail. Everybody's got their little pill bottle, organizer, and they take this for that and this for that and this that and this supplement because that depletes that. And it's just this cascading chemistry set that they got going on. I don't have any of that. I've chosen to go down the road of diet, exercise, and a single treatment at a time. So most recently, I went down a road of an ancient plant medicine, or actually a forest medicine they call combo. And I'll be talking more about that in future episodes. And I met with a practitioner who I very much trust and was given a regimen to go with this. And I had such a powerful experience with this that I completely have trust in this person's process. And she's cured herself of cancer multiple times. And I said, well, the doctor that I'm seeing with the medical license and degree, I don't believe he's cured himself of cancer ever. And so who would you choose to listen to? Somebody who has successfully treated themselves of an ailment or a problem, or maybe somebody who's being fed information from a giant corporation? I don't know. You make the choice. So when I got my lab reports back, I found a couple of other doctors that were willing to look at that. And so I had to go back to the doctor and say, hey, I need copies of my reports. And when I got the CT scan, I was reading through it, and it mentioned that it may have some kind of a cancerous issue. Well, okay, my doctor told me I'm confident it's not for over a year. And now all of a sudden I got this report saying, well, it might be. And so once I see something like that, I says, okay, I'm going to go balls to the wall and do everything I possibly can prior to any invasive treatment that I might consider. So in following this, actually, it's a pair of practitioners, a male and a female, working together. And after doing this combo ceremony, I received some energy treatment that was also extremely powerful. And I'll talk about that in some detail in the future. Life-changing completely on a personal level. And I was given direction to a diet that I'm familiar with. It's what I would call the cancer diet. Zero sugar, zero carbs. You can have protein, you can have vegetables, lots of water. But generally your candida, cancer cells, tumors, all parasites, they generally feed off of sugar. And if you can cleanse your body of this and cause yourself to run on oils and clean fuel, and generally you're just going to basically do a massive cleanse. I'm doing this for 28 days. I don't believe it's a good idea to deprive yourself of things for too long, but I consider it in some ways an extended fast. And I'm now on, I think, day 6 of this. And when I began, I lost more weight. I went down to the lowest weight I've been since I think I was in high school, since I weighed this much. And, though that's, nice on some level, when you're dealing with a potential real health risk, weight loss can be a problem, although I'm confident that's not it. I've already bottomed out. I'm starting to come back up again, but I've lost my, muffin top. I lost my love handles and all that extra lumpy shit. It's all gone. And I'm getting back to building some strength. I lost a little strength over the week that I did that because I wasn't working hard. It was a heat wave and all this other stuff. But now I've got a recipe for a syrup that I'm going to begin making and consuming. And I'm going to go through that regimen for a series. Now, I'm not doing this forever. I want to see if something's going to work. And as much as I've received information from at least a dozen different people, I know through the discernment that I've gained over the years that you can't do everything at once and expect positive results. And I just think that, as we're going through our journey, just remember every single change you make, one change affects everything else. And I know sometimes I'm majorly guilty of it. I get so excited and I get so, geez, I'm like a little kid right before Christmas. I'm like the teenager that falls in love for the first time. I just go head over heels over an idea and I want to do everything now, but that's foolish because you start doing everything now and you're like the kid who just starts mixing chemicals together and all of a sudden something blows up. So my thought for the day is to remember discernment. Take time to spend with yourself. Take time to reflect on the advice that you've been given, who you're giving it to, or who gave it to you. Take your time and do your own research and look and see, are there conflicts between anything you're doing and anything you're considering doing? Just, take some time, have that discernment. I guarantee you're going to be better off than just being impulsive or blindly following anybody or any group of people, and including me. I am not asking anybody to follow me. I'm just saying I'm sharing my story and the stories of others. And I think together we can all become healthier. I've had an influx of inquiries about new guests. And if you are interested in being a guest on this show, if you got a story you want to share or a solution you want to share, or maybe even a little business or something that you're doing, if it's involved in healthy living, promoting health, helping people to become healthier, or sharing your journey of the road to health, contact me. I'm easily found at Joe Grumbine, or just go into the Healthy Living podcast and click on the links in there and you'll be able to connect. All right. Well, I think that's it for this issue. A little short and sweet, but getting down into it. I hope this is helpful. This has been Joe Grumbine, and this has been the Healthy Living Podcast. We'll see you next time.